What is up, guys? We're here. We have two of our favorites. We are got my old son out here. You want to do a nice little ride with us today? It's 100 and go fuck yourself this morning. But I thought I would do like a 6-month progression ride type video. I got this bike Halloween day, October 31st. Rode it like a couple days after that, and then parked it because I had to replace the clutch, the stator, and a bunch of other stuff on it that went bad. If you want to see what was wrong with it, go check out my DIY video or my everything that's wrong video as well. But we're officially about the end of my 6 months of riding, about 7. I hate that number comes up so often. Why does that number come up so often? But we're gonna do a nice little cruise out here. Probably go out to Superstition Mountain a little bit. Probably end over there. So yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about kind of what I've learned from the dirt bike world, because I am new to sport bikes and just riding on street in general. I come from the dirt bike world. I've been on two wheels since '97. Used to race dirt bikes from '01 to '09. So like the fundamentals of riding a bike, clutch, brake, you know, that type of stuff, I was already well versed in when I got into here. But there are some stuff that carries over and things that don't carry over that I had to learn on this, and I'm still learning. So let's hop on the bike and we'll get to popping. Alright, so we will talk a little bit. First and foremost, we'll talk a little bit about what dirt bikes carried over. And honestly, I'm probably going to forget as far as like in what order I'm going to do everything. But I will do my best to do everything in order so I can have chapters for you guys. So I notice my retention rate is a little higher when I have chapters. So as you can see, clutchless shifting in general, knowing how to ride on two wheels and keep a balance and everything and grip the handlebars, that all carried over from riding dirt bikes. How do I clutchless shift without a quick shifter, and or do I have a quick shifter? Negative. But if you time it correctly, if you watch, when I go to shift, I let go of the throttle real quick. So like, you can time it correctly. You can actually technically do it downshifting as well. You can kind of do it downshifting. Yeah, you can clutchless shift without having a quick shifter. It's obviously not as fast as shifting with the clutch, but it can be done. I prefer to do it, and then like if I'm like really getting on it, that was wild. That's like right there I did it. But like when I'm going to limiter, like if I'm racing or doing something and I need to go to limiter, I just no lift shift. So full throttle, clutch in, and shift. What's this guy doing? All right. So all of that kind of carried over. Now, thankfully, because I did a little bit of racing, I did get some coaching as well. Learned how to do like apex, or how to hit an apex. In dirt biking, you would square up a turn, which if you come from the dirt biking world, you kind of know what that is. So that's one thing that really helped. Target fixation, how to mitigate target fixation was one that I really learned how to do. Basically, coach used to like throw boulders and rocks and other various things in corners and whatnot. And if you look where you're going, or if you look at that rock or that boulder on a street, guardrail, patch of gravel, things like that, you're gonna hit it. Your eyes, wherever your eyes go, that's where you are going. I know it seems kind of odd because you're like, oh, I'm steering a different direction or whatever. Nope, you will always go where your eyes go. So it's very important that you mitigate target fixation. That's probably like the biggest piece of advice I can give is mitigate target fixation and learn to look ahead. I'm looking up past that Tesla up there. I don't know how far it looks for you guys in the camera, but the Tesla up there, and then when I get over this hill, I'm using that to my advantage to see what's up over this hill. Is there anything? We got double lines. I see a car coming, oncoming, it's silver. So there are things that you can do, and that's like the biggest thing. Target fixation, obviously how to use the clutch and everything, clutch, brake, gas, all of that. When you, like, obviously I learned a little bit more like serious things when it comes to hitting corners. Another thing I was kind of taught, but it carries over in a different type of way. Body positioning. Body positioning is huge on bikes. Dirt bikes, street bikes, all of it. On dirt bikes, you want your body positioning to stay upright. So when you turn, you need to be on the very edge. Your inside arm needs to be straight, and then your outside should be bent. And then you should be looking so far over when you accelerate out of a corner that you should be able to see your front number plate. That's dirt bikes. Very different on street bikes, because street bikes you lean with the bike. You lean farther than the bike, which has been a little interesting for me to kind of grasp and put into play. I haven't been to a track to really try it, haven't been coached, which I'm really looking forward to, but I do watch a lot of like Yamaha Champ School. When Fastlane Dean goes and does his track days and with Yamaha Champ School, and they're like hour and a half, 2 hour long videos, I definitely sit and I watch and I study. You got to be a student of the craft. You can't get better if you're not a student of the craft and if you're not always attempting to progress. I think that's why, for me, as far as being 6 months in, I'm probably a little bit higher on the scale just for that reason. I do have prior skill in riding and more so like racing and track applications. That'll help like in the canyons, obviously, but even then, there's still a lot to practice, and I really would love to have like a coach with me so I can get like a third person point of view. Let's see, did Sun make it? He did. Alright. Yeah, Superstition Mountains over here. But I do watch a lot of like Yamaha Champ School, Dave Morris, tuning and all that, just so I can get an idea of bike setup, body positioning and all that. So that's something that carried over, but not in the same manner that dirt biking. So they're the same. If some of you are on dirt bikes and you want to make the switch over to street bikes, I have heard from other people that ride dirt bikes that the transition from dirt bike riding to street bike riding is a lot easier, can confirm, than going from street bikes to dirt bikes. That's definitely much different style, and there's a lot more to it. Yeah, there's a difference in how the ride, like anyone can twist the throttle, like we can all do that, but body positioning is of the utmost important when it comes to learning how to ride on a bike. Also, tips and tricks: toes, ride with the balls of your toes, or like the balls of your feet. If you see like my feet, the balls of my feet are on the oh man, no high violators will be towed. Dang. Well, I'm gonna pull in right here. Dang. So I used to come here all the time for this used to be a mining camp restaurant, and we used to come here and eat all the time when I was a kid. But body positioning wise, guys, balls of your feet should be on the edge. You should never be riding pigeon-toed, which means out like this. Always balls of your feet. So come in, shift, pull back out, both sides. And then when you're turning, like if I'm turning right, toe out, knee in. And that's how you should be gripping. I really need to get tank grips because that's a big thing. But yeah. So that covers like a little bit of the body positioning segment and making sure that everything is kind of set up correctly with that. Alright, so I brought it down. We had to do, like I said, a quick little thumbnail. We're going to hop back on the bike in a second, and we'll talk about some other progression stuff and get anyone that wants to learn how to ride or get into riding or just starting to ride, give you guys a few tips and tricks to make sure you guys are set up well. First, another thing I would actually like to add, ergonomics. So how I was just talking about your foot placement, just overall on how to set up your rider triangle. First and foremost, ergonomics. This, adjust your levers. Adjust your levers, adjust your foot pegs if you can. Adjust your shift lever. If you find yourself having to like come way down to get under and shift it, remove the bolt. Usually a bolt. I forget where mine is, but there's a bolt that you remove, and then you can readjust it up. Always do that. Adjust that. Adjust your foot pegs. Adjust your levers. Notice how when I bring my lever out, come up, it's like barely coming up. I probably should need to go down a little bit more, but you shouldn't have to come up and grab it, because you think every second that you take to do all of that is seconds off when it comes to like track riding and attempting to go fast. You can't afford that time. This one, I unfortunately don't have much of a choice because of the brake lines that I have, the stainless steel lines. It doesn't allow me to push this down any farther, so they're kind of cattywampus. So that's very annoying, but yeah, let's hop on. Let's hop on. You ready, son? All right, now we got some wind in us. Let's go to the next spot. Phone is too hot. That's okay. Man, I used to love leaving here because we would treat this as like a roller coaster. It's crazy because not all of these houses were built up like this. There was definitely houses, just not built like this. They were definitely much smaller. But looks like COVID pricings really did them swell. Put a lot of equity into their houses. So obviously another thing that doesn't really carry over from dirt bikes to street bikes is slow speed. Slow speed maneuvers does not carry over. Because on dirt bikes, if I wanted to turn around, I just plant my foot and gun it. Ooh, here we got the Goldfield Ghost Town. Damn, we'll have to stop there one of these days. But like, how cool is that? Horseback rides, zip lines. Man, pan for gold. That's super cool. I'll have to take you guys there one of these days. How rad. But, so slow speed stuff doesn't really carry over like you think that it would, because it's so much easier. You're sliding your back tire out, so I think what dirt biking helped me with is understanding, like I've slid my rear tire. I'll see if I can include a few clips. Ooh, shit. Of when I've slid my rear tire and I've had it locked up. But I'm used to it because I've done it so many times coming into corners on dirt bikes. Coming in hauling ass, braking hard, and rear end slides out, and then you kind of shape it up, and then you go in. You do like an L shape. Boom, boom. And that's how you usually get out or get in and out of a corner. I wonder where that goes. Like I said, that doesn't really carry over into street bikes because you don't really do that. Even on a track, you don't do that. So having to learn the slow speed stuff, which is like, I cannot stress enough to you guys how important it is to take your MSF course. Take your MSF, learn the slow speed stuff. Obviously, if you've never ridden a bike before, and that's a whole other thing. Like if you're trying to get into bikes and all you've ridden is your bicycle to and from school, and like you didn't do any tricks or anything like that, you should probably, you just gave me the old cop ahead. Thank you, soldier. But yeah, if you're just trying to get into bikes and you've never ridden anything other than a bicycle, I would say start on a lower CC bike and research as much as you can, because this is no joke. This is literally life and death riding these things. And you make one mistake in a car, you got essentially a cage around you. You make a mistake on a bike, brother, you're just between you and God at that point. Is karma coming back to bite you or what? So yeah, just be careful for the new riders out there. Like I said, take your MSF course, get that situated so that you're set up for success. Watch Yamaha champ schools, do all that type of stuff. And as you can see, as you get more used to it and you get more seat time is the biggest thing. Nothing is replacement for seat time. No amount of studying, watching videos or anything is going to help, but other than get seat time. I would say, you know, ride at night, ride in parking lots, learn that, and then move on to like highways and stuff. In my opinion, highways are easier to ride than streets, personally, because there's so much going on in streets, and you would think that like highways would be like super overwhelming, but everyone's going the same direction. No one's pulling out in front of you, so you're good. Oh man, look at the views. The views Arizona has, man. You really can't beat them, man. We got everything. Got some nice little twisties. That's cool. Needle Vista viewpoint. Wow. We got a little bit of red in our shit. Damn. Cool area to be in. But once you're about 6-7 months, you'll also notice, because like you can do this type of stuff. Like obviously you can see that I'm riding one-handed. Like I'm comfortable doing that. If you've ridden a bicycle and you're like good at doing wheelies, you can do tricks, or you've done like BMX, yeah, you could definitely get on a sport bike and be fine. Ooh, we get to do a little bit of twisties. Okay. See that rock? If I had looked at that rock, I noticed it, but I didn't look at it. You don't stare at stuff like that. And another big thing is like being choppy on the throttle. You definitely don't want to be choppy on throttle, and that is just due to upsetting the suspension. That's like the biggest thing, is you don't want to upset suspension. So upsetting suspension, that'd be like, okay, now the front end's loaded, okay, now the rear end's loaded and the front end's light. You don't want the front end light in your corners. So you want to make sure everything is done as you get to the corner. And then you got trail braking, which is basically you're bleeding off the front brake as you're going through the corner. Obviously we don't get to like have fun right here, but yeah, you just gotta, there's a lot of things. Body placement's important. Like this is still considered slow speed maneuvers, so like tap your rear brake, drag your rear brake, especially in parking lots. I would say if you're in parking lots, don't touch your front brake, just drag your rear brake. Why do I suggest that? Because when you're going slow and you're dragging your front brake, or you grab your front brake and it like twitches your front end, then that can cause you to go down. So just use your rear brake, and I would definitely say practice using your rear brake in parking lot situations. I think everyone's going to I think this is Canyon Lake or something like that. So I'm using my rear brake a lot in this, and then putting my toes at the balls.
What did he say?
Pause. That didn't sound right. I want to know where this cop is at that this dude was talking about. I don't see this cop, otherwise I would like to pass, but then people get mad at you for crossing the double lines. Like, bro, if there's no one coming, I'm fucking crossing it. Like, it's not you on the bike, it's me. So calm your titties down. However, supposedly there is a coolant and oil spill somewhere. So we'll see where that is at. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna call it here. We're just basically riding to the saloon. Probably catch up on a drink or two, but let me know if you guys have any other questions as far as like what else you should expect when riding, where you like plan to be, if you have any tips and tricks. If you have any tips and tricks, or if you want to ask for tips and tricks, like I said, the first thing when you get your bike, the very first thing I do is set up your ergonomics, set up your foot pegs, set up your shifter and brake lever, set up your levers. Make sure you are comfortable on the bike. That is first and foremost. Get comfortable on the bike, and then go out and practice, because if it's difficult for you to grab the clutch or the brake when you're at, you know, a parking lot practicing or something, then it's going to be difficult for you regardless. Don't develop bad habits and then try to work through the bad habits, because first off, you don't even know you're creating a bad habit, honestly, because you are you're new. You don't know what a good habit and a bad habit is. So I'm trying to tell you, first and foremost, to get rid of the bad habit being adjusting your body to the bike. Get the bike adjusted to your body. Again, first and foremost thing. And then go practice in your parking lots. And second big thing, slow speed stuff, always just drag your rear brake. Just drag it. You don't stab it. Don't stab anything. Don't stab your rear brake. Don't stab your front brake. Drag the brake. And that's pretty much my two biggest thing for you guys, is just making sure that you do that. That's the biggest thing that I can really recommend, because you want to be comfortable on the bike. You don't want to be uncomfortable on your bike when you're riding it. You don't adapt yourself to that. So other than that, third biggest thing, go watch Yamaha Champ School. Anyone that does that, YouTube Dave Morris tuning, any of that type of stuff. So yeah, that's like I said, that's the biggest thing. Those are the three biggest things that I can recommend that you do to become a safe rider. Look at the leg. I feel like jumping in there. Hell yeah, Evo 10, that's fucking sick. Hell yeah.